So this video is going to be on the QR code sharing for the pet owner and for the veterinarian. I'll start with the veterinarian section first, just because I think it'll make more sense if we do that. If you click on the shared care plan, you can put in the patient's information, you can put in your clinic information. You don't have to fill all that out, just the patient's name is needed. You can put in the problem list, but what's meant to be here is you can put in the medication that you might be sending home the animal with, and we can just do a dosage real quick. We'll say the route's going to be oral. The frequency is going to be, we'll just say every 12 hours for this. Give as instructed, when it should be due, and then we can set reminders for the owner, and you can add this. And then if you want to add another medication, you can add up to about 10 medications if you're doing the QR code sharing. If there's different physical therapy exercises that you want them to be doing, maybe they had a disc herniation and you want to do something like assisted standing, how long you want to do it for. So we'll say 10 minutes as it says there. Frequency, we'll just say twice a day. And then we can set reminders for the owners if we want, and we can add that as well. Same thing for bladder management if you're sending home emergency seizure medication. So I'm not going to belabor this. If there's preventatives that the owner wants information on, then you could put that in. We can add that. And same thing with vaccinations, when it was last given, when it's due. So I'll put that in real quick. We'll say that we gave DHPP and it was given today, and it's going to be due in 2027. So we can add that as well. And then you can generate a QR code. And what this does is for the owner, they can then open their app, scan this, and all that information will be put in the pet owner section. The other option is you could export this as a PDF or as a Word document for the owner. And if you want to go back to edit the plan, you can, because once you click done, all that information is going to be erased. So keep that in mind. So for the veterinarian, that's going to be the shared care plan. If we go back home to the pet owner section and look at the QR sharing, this is where they can scan the vet's QR code. So they can start scanning. It'll show the camera here. Again, I'm using an emulator, so that's why it shows up as this. And then that information, once it's scanned, will be imported into the app. Going back to the QR sharing, if the owner wants to share information to the vet, then they can put in that information. If they're giving certain medications, maybe they're at a boarding facility and they want to have all that information shared to the vet, then they can generate a QR code, same thing with the diet information, and the vet can scan that and it'll be input into the vet's app. Same thing for some of the questionnaires or seizure logs. So if you're just wanting to export a seizure log this way, we can generate our QR code, and then that seizure information is going to be inputted into that QR code and the vet can scan it. Or if they did a DISHA questionnaire, a seizure questionnaire, all that can be shared just with a QR code. And I ended up doing it this way. I wanted to keep everything as private as possible. So if I did sharing over the web and wireless sharing, then potentially some of that information could be hacked. So that's why I kept it as a QR code. So there's pros and cons of doing that. Ultimately, you can always just generate a PDF and email it that way if you want to do something remotely. But that's the whole function of the QR code section.